Okay, so this is going to be my first sketchbook tour on the channel. And I'm going to be doing a few because I have just a bunch of sketchbooks. I thought it would be nice to do a few of these to upload. So this is a Moleskine sketchbook, which I think I got it for Christmas, I believe. And then I saved it and used it eventually. Hopefully it can fit. There we go. So I think, let's see. Where's my... Yep, I started on February, so I believe I got it for Christmas and then used up all my other sketchbooks until then. This was sketchbook number 54. I numbered all my sketchbooks, went through all of them, numbered them. So this is sketchbook number 54. This was just a starter page, some warm-up doodles of some birds because I love doing birds. And some horses because why not? I love horses. They're actually really fun to draw. Everyone thinks they're very hard, but I enjoy drawing them. They have weird, funky, long, lanky legs. These are some angels, which I draw angels in a very different way. They're very eldritch looking, different parts of like different creatures, different animals. She really loves dinosaurs. She misses the dinosaurs, so she has big pterodactyl wings. Oh, something started up down here. I'm using the basement, so nobody can hear me. Then we have some more. I love using watercolor, by the way. All these swatches are watercolor swatches. All of this is watercolor. If it's not, I'll point it out. And then I started actually trying out gel pens and watercolor because I thought they'd be nice to go together, so I tried them out in this sketchbook, which I just have more dragons because I love drawing dragons. This is one of my friend's characters. It was Valentine's Day, and I thought it'd be funny to send this because they're Arrow Ace, and it's like, you know, I just thought it was funny. Yeah. This angel has a hand on her back, which I found hilarious. Oh, this was for like a college class that I really absolutely hated. I really like these dogs. Oh, here we go. This is Beetlejuice. The past few sketchbooks, the main reason I'm not showing those ones is because they're filled with this dude. Because I went to see the musical on my birthday. So and I hadn't ever seen it before, and I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I love it so much. And so that was my hyperfixation for a while, was Beetlejuice. So he was there for a while, and I was like, oh, I'm going to try drawing him in watercolor. So I did, and he's ridiculous, and I like these. And that's me. That's my character that I draw myself as. I guess Sona, I suppose. These are some characters that I draw a lot. They're kind of my main characters of another story I have. This is a train station that I just sat down and drew. This one's very empty. More angels, another me. Oh, then I started work on, well, my fantasy world, because I have the supernatural world with all the angels and demons, and then I have my fantasy world with kings and queens and kingdoms, and I was trying to figure out the setup and layout. I don't know why this guy doesn't have any clothes on. I didn't add clothes, I guess. This is the Dragon Prince, who is like a prince for half of the year, and the other half of the year he's like a dragon, but like he's still himself. He's just looks like a dragon. And this is his dad, who's horrible and doesn't like that his son is a dragon because their kingdom is so old-fashioned. He's like, oh, dragons, I hate them so much. And all the other kingdoms were like, why? Dragons are cool now. Like, what is up with you? There he is again. This is a big gargoyle, which I wanted them to be like kind of like a golem, like a very special kind of golem that a wizard would make. That's like a protection one. These are some furries from when my friend was drawing like furries for the first time, and she was like, haha, look at this, I've become my worst enemy. So I drew some of them because they were actually adorable. This one's a big skunk. This was for a project. I really don't know why I didn't fill out the rest of the page, because I could have, but I didn't. More Beetlejuice. Lots of me's. I was really excited about wearing dresses because I don't get to wear dresses that often. Oh, and then I watched Delightful. Delightful does some doll customization videos. She's like my favorite on there, and she had she's doing a dragon series. So when the dark one came out, I was like, oh, I've got to draw them as like dragons. And the air one too. I think it was the air one actually. So I drew them as dragons. Her stuff is really cool. There they are again with, I really like this one. This one was done in crayon. And then here's some fan art for The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, because why not? I'm gay. Because I really liked Nurgle because I could relate to him, because he's like, I'm not weird, leave me alone. It's like, that's me. I tried to do a big piece with the 3 dragons, but I kind of gave up on it. More crayon drawings, because I realized, oh yeah, crowns are fun to use. Crayons. More of it. I didn't finish this guy. And then you have more dragons. I love drawing dragons when I don't have anything else to draw. Then when I was younger, I made this Sona before I knew what a furry was. I made this Sona because I was like, I don't want to be a dog. I like drawing this character a lot. I don't consider myself a furry, but when I was younger, basically, because I really, fursuits were cool to me. I was like, oh my god, that's so neat. I remember meeting one that was like a tiger with like wings at like a convention. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. But so I was redrawing her because I just thought she was fun. She had like 3 eyes, and her mouth is like turquoise color, and I drew her topless because I don't understand why people give them boobs, because that's not how dogs work. So I drew her topless a few times because I thought it was like funny that they keep drawing them with boobs, and it's just like this. This is it. This is what it's like. Here we go. There it is. That's it. That's what it's like. It's not, they don't have human boobs. It's so weird. Anyway, dragons, more dragons. This guy's cute. I love him. He's Beelzebub. I have like a whole thing. Oh, here we go. There they are. I have this here because I keep forgetting their designs, and then I have to go back and look at these because like I'm still not used to drawing all of them. I'm used to drawing a few of them, like this one and Beelzebub, and that's kind of it, because Beelzebub is like my favorite and I've worked on him a lot, and Stanley too. Oh, and Lucifer, of course. And this is their dad. His name is Devil, and everyone just decided to call him the Devil, so that's who he is. And that's why, that's who he is. That's his dad, their dad. I just wrote all their stuff down, and this is the shape of their nose so that I remember it. And where they are in the timeline or whatever. And then there's more Beelzebub because honestly he's my favorite. I love him a lot. Then I was working on stuff for an illustration class. More Beelzebub and his family. I tried to do kind of some silhouette drawings of what they look like, all together lined up in a row. I love this guy. Was originally supposed to be like the boogeyman, and he disappeared into shadows. But then I was like, I like his design too much, so we're gonna make him one of the brothers. So he's like the second youngest. He's autistic, and I love him. More stuff for the illustration class because we were supposed to make illustrations for some. I forgot what it was, but I chose to do some illustrations for zodiac stuff. So I did Capricorn, which is mine, and Leo, and Aries, which I really loved. I based them off of this little thing here. So I think this one talked about jellyfish for some reason, and this one talked about how Leos look out for people that are like similar to you or something. And this one has something to do with moss. So I was like, oh, what if moss is growing on their horns? Then I started to play around and do some other ones. I think I already did a few. I might make them into stickers someday. I really love the Sagittarius one. She's really fun. Oh, and then I was like, oh, I should do some comics, so I did this little comic. And then I started playing around with watercolors and colored pencils, which I liked a lot, and then I never did it again. I don't know why. Yeah, so there's like mini comics, like, you know, like a princess who calls in a dragon to eat the prince who's being really annoying, or like this dude rushes into this town and he's like, I've come to rescue you, and she's like, oh geez, it's morning, hit the snooze button, chomp. I thought that was really funny. More dragons just because they're fun to draw. Oh, I like this hand. This was stuff while I was bored in this goddamn class, which I really hate. 3D concepts is going to kill me right there. That's it. 3D concepts. I remember I got yelled at for drawing in class, and I usually use drawing to, like, focus. Like, I was like, he called me out on the one point when I wasn't focused, because usually I'm focused, but I was also focusing on these guys. Because this is Jack. He is best buds with Beelzebub. Honestly, they're gay for each other, but they don't say anything about it. Because apparently Jack, all the poetry is about Jack, are the same person. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make that into a character, which both me and my friend did the same thing. Mine I've stuck with for a while, but I haven't heard about hers for a while, so I don't know about that. But he broke his crown, he just kind of bashed in his skull, and he also won like a card game for his, like, for immortality. And so he was immortal, and his wife died during that whole tumble down the hill. And he's like, well, shit, now I'm just kind of stuck like this. And Elizabeth was like, no, hold on, I've got this. Don't worry, I can put your brain into this pumpkin. That's how jack-o'-lanterns were made. Here's some, like, one-line doodles from the same class. This is what I got yelled at for doing. This is when I got yelled at. I was so pissed that he called me out in front of the entire class, because I was like, I'm just drawing. It's an art class. Isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? Like, I was doing, like, stuff for, like, what I wanted to do for the class, and I was just, that's how I focus, man. I was so pissed off. And then here's some stuff for, I think another animation class. I was trying to do someone's style. Oh, there's thunder outside. This is a telephone, because I was like, time to do some prop design, even though, like, it was used for like 5 seconds of the film. Then I did some background swatches, and I love this little alligator dude. Yeah, and then I started watching It Crowd again, because I got someone else to watch it, and so I was like, you know, I'm gonna watch it again, so I watched it again. And I love how these two are, like, basically, like, an old married couple. They're like Ross and Moss. Moss and Roy. I almost said Ross and Moy. That was terrible. I thought it was hilarious that they were like an old married couple. Oh, there's I don't know what's happening there. Oh, I love him. That one's fun. Like a little box mimic demon creature. Oh, some more dragons and unicorns. These two are characters that I'll draw all the time. Like whenever I'm like I don't know why they always keep coming back up. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it always gets to it. But whenever I start drawing unicorns and dragons, I immediately go to, yes, the bardic duo with this guy, the dragon who collects songs, because in my world, dragons collect very specific things for the horde. I have this other character who's like this big spiky dragon who collects teacups. I love her. But this dude collects songs, and she's just kind of like his older sister. And they go around and he collects songs and they sing them. I also like to draw them, the unicorns fighting. Oh, here's some stamps, which, like, I'm planning to show some stamp making. Like, I'll go over here and I'll record myself making stamps in real time while I talk about random stuff. I just thought that'd be fun, so that'll happen someday. This is more story development for a story that I'm working on personally. These are some angels, and they're coming out to pull out a demon that's kind of taken root in this dude's soul. But, like, they're best friends. They've been best friends for, like, 3 goddamn years. Suddenly this demon comes along and is like, I'll rescue you. And he's like, what? No, hold on. I don't know. There's those two again. This is stuff for a D&D thing, which I'm gonna kind of glaze over because they don't need to know just don't look at that. This is my brother's character for the campaign as well, and that's one of my friends' characters. More stuff. I'm honestly just gonna glaze over this because we haven't finished that campaign yet, so I don't want to spoil anything. Oh, and here is me figuring out business cards because my school goes to that big Ontario animation festival thing, and I was getting really excited for it. I'm like, oh, I should make business cards. And then when I go talk to people, and like we don't become friends, but like I kind of introduce myself and whatever, I can give them a business card. That's perfect. So I was thinking about business cards. A lot of people tell me that my little Sona character is like really fun and cute, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll lean into that. Then I did some mushrooms, and I found out that some people make mushrooms into hats, and I thought that was fantastic. So I put that into my world where they use magic mushrooms to make witches' hats. Then I worked on drawing cars because I don't know how to draw cars. Then I did this nice little watercolor thing because for some reason I had this image in my brain of this lady in this weird poncho that's kind of made out of paper, like a paper-like fabric. I don't know what it was. I just had to draw it. That's me, kind of. I was kind of figuring out how to draw myself a little bit. This is a mess. So these are going to show up a bit because I had a drawing class where we had like a bunch of different people in the class sit down and do poses, and so I drew for the next few, and then I just drew around them afterwards. These are some characters that this is actually my friend's character and that we made together. This was like the first character we made together, and eventually she was like, you really like this character much more than I do. Like, this was years after like we'd stopped using them at all, and she's like, I keep seeing him come back up, you should just take him. And I'm like, okay. So I signed adoption papers. She sent me like a really crappy like drawing of an adoption paper, and this was a day where I was feeling really funny, so I drew a bunch of stuff about that. More of them because I just really like him. He's Spring Hill Jack. He's the one, the only Spring Hill Jack. And we decided that he's like half dragon or something. That's why he can bounce so much and shoot fire and like all of that. That was the thing. I actually find that really clever still. I really like this one up here in the corner. Then I was watching that Corpse Bride. I was watching that Corpse Bro. More scenery practice because I just am not good at scenery. I like him. He's right there. Then there's me because I was feeling very loved that day. I was feeling very loved. Oh man, I love these. These are some other characters from the same story. That's from the Jack the Pumpkinhead, Beelzebub, the one with the soul and the demon thing. That's all one story. So these are from the same story. This is Beelzebub's kid. So remember Baphomet? Baphomet is this character that a lot of like guitarists and rock bands have on their guitars or something. I remember reading that somewhere, and I can't remember where I found it, but they have like it's supposed to be a dude with like female breasts, and I was just like, why can't it just be a lady? Like, it's cool. Like, no, it wasn't a dude. I can't remember, but I just was like, if this demon has female breasts, last I checked, that means that they're female unless they're trans. But this was the time. This is Baphomet. She also likes rock. That was really shitty. I'm sorry. I love trans people, trans rights. That was so shitty. Anyway, boats. I drew some boats and more scenery, and Spring Hill Jack and that persona thing again. I really love her design. And more just life drawings and dragons, because again, when I don't know what to draw, I'll draw dragons. Some unicorns, dragons. And then I started working on this jacket, which I painted. And I decided that I wanted to do like a big either a big dragon on the back or a big dragon wrapping around it, or a bunch of different mythical creatures like all like painted on it, which I really like these, but I decided that it was a bit too busy with all the different creatures on it, so, and like here I am, because I was so excited about it, and then as soon as I started trying to figure it out, I was like, oh, this won't work, so instead I decided to do a big dragon whipping around it. Oh, Jack and Beelzebub. I was just kind of in the, just a nice fluff mood. I like this character. I don't know who they are. I drew them randomly. I don't know who they are. I might make them into a character just because I like their design so much. That's usually what will happen, is I'm just randomly drawing and then I'm like, I like this design. I'm gonna keep it. So that's what happens, usually. Three-headed. More stuff about, the fantasy world. Ooh, that's pretty heavy thunder over there. Yeah, more stuff for the jacket. More stuff for the jacket. I was really excited to put this guy, the Baku, Baku. I don't know how to say it properly. I know it's Asian. I believe it's Chinese. But they either steal dreams or they give you dreams. There's some, I can't remember exactly what it was, but there's some kind of dream creature. Then this is the end, when I was just kind of like, I want to just get this done. So I filled out this page with some dogs and dragons, and I got through it pretty fast. I started it in February 12th, and then I finished it March 11th. So this one took me basically a month to finish. So that's the end of that. So that's the end of that sketchbook. I'm gonna do a few more. Probably post one every week or something like that. Yeah, there you go.